Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be discussing the shop in the faction board. Once you go up to your leader here, you can buy rewards. Now, here's where things get interesting. Early game, you are kind of made to believe that a lot of this stuff in here is pretty valuable and you'll need it. But honestly, you don't. And here's why. So most of the clothing items, they look great. The skins, really cool. Whatever faction matches your colors, they will have them. I'm Marauder, so everything is green. But it looks cool, yes. But when you're out there in the world, you're going to be leveling up really fast in the beginning. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to be finding armor and weapons that are going to be actually higher tiered than what's in here. And you're going to be going through stuff so fast that even if you do purchase some of these items, you're going to find better really quickly and you will not need it anymore. So the question is, what do you spend your money on? Well, here is some advice. I personally like the seals. Now, what are the seals, you ask? Well, the seals are great for changing attributes of a item. So your weapons or your clothing that you buy, Marauder gear, you can purchase one of these and it can change the attributes of that item. So with this one, this is the Marauder Soldier Round shield here, and it has Constitution. But if I would buy a seal, I can take this and change it to, say I'm doing focus or I want to do intelligence. I can change those things by taking this to the appropriate place and using my seal on the item. So that's a great, these are great. These are great to spend your money on, and they're only 100 Marauder tokens or whatever token matches your faction. But I would say the most valuable thing that you can buy early on without spending a whole lot would be your minor ruin of holding. Now these allow you to craft bags and storage chests, and you're gonna definitely want these. They allow a simple holding ruin that gives containers the ability to hold more than what would ordinarily be able to. So this is a must, a must, a must, a must. Other than that, in the first soldier and gladiator area, there's not a whole lot to spend a lot of money on, which is good. Now, there is a cap on tokens, and I can't remember what it is for the soldier and gladiator. And actually the first 4, I do not remember. I think commander or your bottom tier here is about 10,000. But so if you're needing to blow through some and you've reached your cap, go for the potions, go for the seals, but definitely get your ruins of holding and possibly iron chisel. Now, this is what's interesting too, is that typically you're not going to be doing the dungeons and everything where you need to craft yourself a key early on. And that's what these are used for. These do your tuning orbs, but honestly, not that valuable in the early parts of the game when you're still in the first rank of your faction. So possibly these, but really go for your elixirs, go for your holdings and your seals. Now, as we get down into the second rank here, this is where the material converters come into play. And again, very cheap. You're not going to be blowing through a ton of tokens, and these are very, very useful. So it's a basic one-time use machine that uses alchemy to convert one item to another. So this is your sandpaper, your flux, your crossweave, and they will be beneficial in the different areas that you're going to be, your different jobs that you're going to be leveling up in the game. So I definitely recommend grabbing you some material converters because they are very, very useful. All right, so let's go down to the last 2 ranks of your faction board, and let's start seeing why it's important to save your tokens so you can get some of these better items. Let's just pick one randomly here. So here is the level 60 gear, and you're gonna see why it's important to be able to get these later on in game. So a lot of these items have a high gear score, and they're going to have a gem socket. But what you really want to pay attention to here is looking for stuff that you can take into those dungeons. When you are level 60 and higher, you need that corruption protection, because it's usually not the bosses that are going to kill you in these areas. It's going to be the corruption that'll get you. So we're going to be looking for things that have corruption protection. And a lot of this stuff, especially if you're like me, if you're a heavy, if you're a tank build, you're going to want to be in there. You're going to be taking most of the damage and probably staying in the corruption area the longest. So this stuff here in the bottom 2 ranks is what you're going to be focusing on. A lot of this stuff, as you can see, is pretty expensive. So that's why you want to be able to save as many tokens so you can at least get 1 item down here immediately once you hit these sections, because so much of this you're going to need for those higher levels, especially when you cap out at 60 and you're going into really heavily corrupted areas. So just to run through it one more time, when you first get into the game, you're starting out, don't be tricked into getting in here and seeing all this really cool gear and thinking you need it, because 9 times out of 10, you're going to be finding way better gear in the world, and do not waste your money. Grab those seals, grab those ruins of holding. If you absolutely must, get you some healing potions, and then wait till you get down here, get your common material converters, and then save. So once you hit these areas down here, you can really start gearing up and get you some really good stuff. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something from it. Don't forget to hit that like or subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next one.